In the video I'm making for you guys today, we're going to talk about section 5 of unit 7, which are properties of logarithms. I realize I skipped over section 4, and that's because I want to do that lesson when I'm here in person, but this is one I think you can follow through from the video with the notes and still be successful on the homework. And we'll continue to apply these ideas going forward, so it was a good opportunity for a day I was going to be gone. So our goals today are to use the properties of logarithms to expand and condense algebraic expressions, and then we want to calculate the value of a log using the change of base formula, which we'll get to toward the end of the lesson. So we've got some properties that we're going to look at and how it allows us to do some things differently with logs. So if we have log base b of a product, so this is called the product rule. It says if I have the log, and b, remember, is just our base, excuse me, log base b of x times y, that's the same as log base b of x plus log base b of y. So that means if I have the log of a product, it's the same as the sum of their individual logs. And a lot of times when I do this outside of, if I'm not using this printed book, I have students write this both directions. But please don't forget, equal signs work both directions. And what I mean by that is that the log of a product is equal to the sum of the two logs, but the sum of the two logs is also equal to the log of the product. And the same thing's going to be true. We've got the log of a quotient, right? When we divide two things, it's called a quotient. So the log base b of x divided by y is log base b of x minus log base b of y. So the quotient rule for logs says the log of a quotient is equal to the difference of the two logs. And the numerator is always first. And just like I said for the previous rule, equal signs always work in both directions. So that means if you have the difference of two logs, as long as they have the same base, you can write it as a single log with a quotient. And then it may not be evident to us right now or in this unit at all, but as we get into solving equations with logs, and any of you that will ever take an upper level math class, like if you take a college algebra or if you take calculus at some point in college, you'll understand how powerful this rule is for logs. And this says if I have log base b of x to the y power. So I have the log of something raised to a power. Well, logs have this amazing property that we can take this exponent and bring it out front as the coefficient. So I can bring log base b of x to the y, I can bring this exponent out in front, and get log base b of x. And again, as we work on this, you'll see more and more opportunity why this is so nice. Then, again, my equal signs still work both directions. Depending on the goal of what we're trying to do, we might want to take something that has a coefficient and make it into the exponent. So we're going to look at that happening both ways. So first, we're going to look at how can we use these log properties to expand. So when we're doing the expanding, we're going in that direction from the left to the right. We're using these properties exactly as we wrote them. So example 1, what if I have the log of x to the 4th over y to the 5th? Well, I see that I've got some exponents happening, but I also have a quotient. So I'm going to use the quotient rule first. And I get log of x to the 4th minus log y to the 5th. And remember that if there's no base written, it's base 10. So when we just have log written without a base, it's base 10. And that the log button on your calculator is log base 10. So I'm almost fully expanded this situation, but I've got these powers, these exponents. So anytime it asks us to expand, we want to get those exponents out in front. So I'm going to use the following rule. So I'm going to use that I have log x to the fourth. So I had log x to the y. I can bring that exponent out in front. So 4 log x minus, I can do the same thing here, 5 log y. So here we used rules 2 and 3 together. For example 2, we're going to look at log base 9 of 11 times 2 times 7 to the 6th. So here we've got log base 9. So this isn't one we could type in our calculator straight away, but that doesn't mean we can't still use our log rules. So if I look at expanding, what I notice is that I have the log of a product. And up here in our rule, I only had 2 things in our product, but we know we can multiply 2 things together. I can multiply 7 things together, 85, however many things I'm multiplying together. This just continues to apply. So we would just keep adding. So if we apply that product rule, we get log base 9 of 11 plus log base 9 of 2 plus log base 9 of 7 to the 6th. So that lets us take that single log and break it apart. Before I box that in as my final answer, I always check when I'm asked to expand if there are any exponents. And there are, but only on this last term. So I've got log base 9 of 11 plus log base 9 of 2 plus here at the end, I'm going to be able to take the 6, that's my exponent, and bring it out front as my coefficient. So 6 log 9 of 7. And then for example 3, let's look at log base 8 of 5 to the 6th times 6 all to the 5th. So this problem has us looking at using our log properties, but it also makes us remember some things about exponents. So before I apply my log properties, I'm going to use my law of exponents. So if I have a product raised to a power, that power comes into both pieces. And anytime you have a power raised to a power, you multiply. So that becomes 5 to the 30th times 6 to the 5th. And now I'm going to use my log rules. This is the log of a product, so I'm going to use the rule number 1, the product rule. So I have log base 8 of 5 to the 30th plus log base 8, 6 to the 5th. I'm not ready to circle my answer because I have to check for exponents. And both of these have exponents, which can be brought out to the front as coefficients. So we have 30 log base 8 of 5 plus 5 log base 8 of 6. So when we're expanding logarithms, we want to break them into sums or differences, and then we want to check to see if we have powers that can be brought out front as our coefficients.